Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Nick from Black Dragon Martial Arts, and welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm going to give a few minutes just to let everybody get logged in. But while you guys are logging on, we decided to do a Mindset Monday video because a lot of the audience is not available for our nighttime videos, so we wanted to do something for those that were available during the daytime. So I hope that those of you that are available to watch videos during the daytime enjoy this video. I'm not going to hold you guys up too long, so I'm going to get started in just a minute. But while everybody's logging on, why don't you guys comment with what you thought about the game last night or the halftime show? You know, I saw a lot of mixed reviews about the halftime show. Some people thought it was great. Some people thought it was terrible. I thought it was actually not bad myself. I kind of like JT, and I think he did a good job. But we'll go ahead and get started with today's Mindset Monday. And for anybody that joins late, you guys can always go back and watch from the beginning. So I want to let you guys know too that anybody that shares this video, I'm going to give a free 20-minute private lesson. And that would be if you're a current student, or even if you're not a current student. You know, if you have some fitness goals that maybe you want to work on, or self-defense that you'd like to learn, I'd be more than happy to work with you with it. Or if you're a current student, I'd be more than happy to work with you on what we're working on in class. Again, anybody that shares the video, we're going to give you a free 20-minute private lesson, and you can just get with me to schedule that. But like you guys saw on the topic of the video is putting limits on our children. Now, when I talk about putting limits on our children, I'm not talking about setting limits and boundaries. Although those are good things to do, we should definitely have limits and boundaries for our children. That's not what we're talking about in today's video. That's not what I mean by putting limits on our children. I'm going to share with you guys actually a lesson that I learned teaching martial arts to little children, and it's actually something that taught me not to put limits on what we think our children can do or accomplish. So probably maybe about a year and a half ago, I started teaching our Little Dragons class. That's our class for ages 3 to 5 year olds. And before that time, I never had much experience, maybe filling in here and there for somebody else in teaching the little guys. So, to be honest with you, I didn't really know a whole lot about teaching that age group. And across our industry, it's commonly believed that, with the 3 to 5 year olds, that you can't do regular martial arts like what you do with the other age groups. You know, it is believed by a lot of people that you have to, play games throughout the entire class, that you have to disguise the martial arts with some kind of games that they don't think they're learning martial arts, that they think they're just playing games. And I kind of bought into that because that's what everybody always said. And it made sense to me with him being so young and having such a short attention span. But what that really was people placing limitations on these children, saying that they couldn't do it. And whatever kind of limitations you place on your children, that's the limitations they're going to have. If you say your child can't do something, then they're probably not going to be able to do it. So how I learned this lesson is when I started teaching that class, the problem was I didn't know all those games to play. I didn't know what kind of games to play to keep a 3 to 5 year old child entertained. I wasn't experienced with teaching that age group. I didn't have a child that age, so all I knew to do was to teach martial arts. That's what I knew to do. That's what I've been doing for a long time. I haven't been playing games, and so I was forced to kind of just stick with what I know. Like, well, I'm gonna have to teach these guys martial arts because I don't know how to do those games. And lo and behold, the children were learning the martial arts. They were doing the things that so many people said that age group could not do, and some of them doing it, better than like the older kids. For those of you that do know a little bit something about martial arts, you have your roundhouse kick, where your foot comes around this way and you strike with the instep with the top of your foot. You know, our Little Dragons class, a lot of those can rotate that hip over and hit really good with the top of the foot. And some of our kids classes or teenage classes and even adult classes have trouble with that concept. And so, you know, in time in teaching that class and learning that, you know, the only limitations that those students had were the ones that we placed on them. So we took those limitations off and started teaching them regular martial arts, and they started learning it. So that's what we do in that class now. And believe it or not, that class has grown and thrived as a result of that. Because you know, who'd have thought parents that were signing their kids up to learn martial arts, they actually wanted to learn martial arts, right? So, you know, I wanted to share that story with you guys and also kind of talk about how that can relate to all of us as parents, myself included, as I'm a parent. So, you know, if we took the limits off our martial arts students, and they started performing things that things said they couldn't do. So, like, what kind of limits do some of you guys have on your children? You know, like, can your 8-year-old do the laundry at home? I would say that if you don't place that limitation on them, like, I don't think he or she can do that, then sure, they could. Or could your 10-year-old cook dinner, you know, with some supervision, or, you know, help prep, chop up some onions and things like that, and help you get dinner going? I'd say absolutely, as long as that limitation was not put on them that they couldn't do it. Can your 9-year-old be responsible and held accountable for doing their own homework and turning it in, you know, based on the deadline, like when they're supposed to, without mom and dad standing over them and kind of spoon feeding them and saying, okay, well, we have to do this assignment now, and you have to turn that into your teacher tomorrow. I'm going to email her and make sure that you've done that. I think that's when we do that, we're just putting limitations on our kids and saying that they can't, you know, be big girls and big boys and do those things. So, you know, that's pretty much it for today's video. Is just to share that story with you guys and challenge you to take the limits, you know, off your children if you're placing those limitations on them. Thank you guys for tuning in for Mindset Monday, and also just want to remind you guys that anybody that shares this video, I'm going to schedule a 20-minute private lesson with you guys. Have a good Monday.